In this video, you will learn 11 ways to get new customers for free. Hi, I'm Phil from Tech for Techs, and today you will learn how to get customers for totally free with no expense. Why should you trust my advice? Well, unlike a lot of YouTube presenters who tell you they can make you lots of money, they don't have a store, they don't own a business or anything like that. All they do is make free YouTube videos for you to have a look at. I actually own my own business, and my business is very successful. Without getting too big-headed about it, I've won lots of national and local awards as well. When I started with my business, I started with zero funds. So basically I had nothing in the bank to invest in the business. And all these tips I have used in the past, and most of them I still even use today after 15 years. If you've got any advice or tips, tricks, or even want to just comment and say how you like this video or not, please feel free in the comments below. Also, please support us by just clicking on that subscribe button down in the corner. So today we're going to be talking about how to grow your business on a limited budget, or should I say zero budget. Tip number one, your website. If you don't have one, you need one now. You need to get that website up and running. If you already do have one, you need to make sure that you have some of the basic things sorted. One of the most common things we see on people's websites is they don't have the phone number visible at the top of the page for people to see, or their address, or even opening hours, and people have to look and look and look to find this information. People want to know who you are, where you are, what times you're open, and how to contact you straight away. And if your information is not there, they're going to move on to someone else. Tip number two, make sure you're listed online. It's okay having a website, but if your website is not visible or can't be found, no one's going to go there and know you even exist. So make sure your website is listed on Google, Bing, Yahoo, and any of the other services out there like Google Maps and so forth. If it's not, you need to get listed ASAP. Also make sure you check for services in your area, so service pages. So let's just say you're a bakery and there's a special bakery website which lists all the bakeries around the UK, then you need to make sure you're listed on there. If you're not, you're losing out on customers. And if those customers don't even go directly to you from these listings, it will have a benefit to your website. It will improve what's called your SEO, which is search engine optimization, which will make it so that Google makes your website more relevant and thinks, oh, this website's linking to here, so this must be a good website. So it will boost you in the listings, so you'll get ahead of your competitors. So make sure you get yourselves listed in as many places as possible that are relevant. Obviously don't go onto forums and different places like that where have got nothing to do with it and say go to my bakery or go to my clothes shop or whatever. You need to make sure it's relevant. Local is better, and if you can get into newspapers, radio stations, directories, then even better. A bonus tip for you is to make sure those photos on your website you've got are actually named after what you do. So for instance, in most cases you upload photos onto your website and they're automatically named when your camera takes them as image 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8 and so forth. But what you need to do, and make sure you do, is name them something specific before you upload them, or at least once they're on the website, if you can rename them, do it, and make sure they're named after what you do. So obviously if you're based in Edinburgh and you make cakes, you need to call the first picture Cakes in Edinburgh, or Bakewell Tarts in Edinburgh, and so forth, and keep doing a different name but related to what you do for each of the pictures on your website. Believe it or not, that helps your search engine optimization. It's that SEO word what a lot of people don't understand, but basically the more relevant information you've got, the better. Tip number three, reviews. You need to make sure you are listed on Google, Facebook and so forth, and people are able to leave you reviews. Why you think, oh, reviews don't matter too much? You're wrong. For example, in my own store, if someone finds us on Google, why would they pick us rather than the other 10 or 20 other stores locally that do the same things I do? The reviews. Because so many people have given us good reviews, they actually come to us rather than the competitors. For example, you go on to do a search for your business locally or the service you offer, and you'll find that there'll be lots of different listings and so forth. But which one would you choose? Would you choose the one what's got lots of 5-star reviews, or would you go to the place what's got no reviews or just 1 3-star review? Obviously you're going to pick the best one out of the lot, or hopefully you are. And that's what you need to make sure you do. So you need to make sure you remind your customers to give you a review, whether it's on your website, whether it's through Google, through Facebook, or wherever. When the customer's been in, give them a little ticket or something like that saying, please review us on Google or whatever with the link address and so forth. If you don't do it, you're missing out on a big opportunity where people will pick you because they think you're better or know you're better than the competition. Tip number 4. If you have a retail store, you need to make sure it looks good. And when I say good, I mean from the outside. And I don't mean like it's got to have gold pillars or anything like that. You need to just make sure it looks clean and presentable. There's nothing worse than pulling up outside a store that you found on Google or wherever for the first time and you go, oh my god, this place looks so run down, it looks horrible, the paint's peeling off, it's dirty, look at the signs in the windows, they're all crooked and stuck on with blue tack. You really need to get rid of all the rubbish in your windows. If you have to have stuff in your windows, like signage for whatever reason, make sure it's all uniform, so everything's the same font and the same style. There's nothing worse than looking at stuff and it's completely different. So you need to have everything in a uniform style. Try and get all the posters in the same font type as your business name, or everything in the store you use, try and use that same font type. It makes you look more professional and gives you that bigger identity really. And again with these posters, if you have to have the posters in the windows, you can actually get some decent poster basically display stands what hang from ceilings and stuff like that, which will display stuff and frame it and make it look really good. And that's obviously optional if you do want to pay, but otherwise make sure it's clean, make sure your place is painted, and make sure you get rid of all the rubbish. Tip number 5. You're an expert in what you do, and if you're not and you just own it and you employ experts, you need to make sure people realise. And what I would recommend is you try and contacting radio stations, local newspapers, even local parish magazines, and see if you can write an article. A lot of these places want content. They're running out of content. They want news, they want stuff to publish on their website, on their magazine, or even on radio. You can even offer on a radio station to do a call-in to talk about your services and what you offer. So let's just say you are a computer repairs company like myself. You can call and give people tips and advice, and at the end usually the presenter will say, yeah, if you have any more problems or whatever, feel free to go to ABC Computers and they'll get you sorted. Tip number 6, social media. Hate it or love it, it's there and people use it, so you need to be there as well. If you're not, you're missing out on a big thing. While it may not work for every business and everyone, it can do, but it will not work overnight. It's one of these things you have to invest in over time. When I say invest, I don't mean money, I mean time. So first thing you need to do is get on there and make a business page if you've not already. Put constant updates at least once a week, and what I do recommend is 2 or 3 times a week. But don't put just sales jargon on there. Put some tips and advice, or maybe even some humour on there. God, everyone on Facebook loves a cat rolling around and a dog barking and different things like that. They like the cute stuff. So try and incorporate what you do with cute stuff, and you'd be surprised how many people actually get interested. One of our biggest things we did when we did a review, and was more popular than anything, we took a picture of the device we were reviewing with a cat next to it, which was a cat from over the road, and it got more likes than anything in the world. So make sure you basically well, promote what you're doing, but don't sell directly. Once you do have this page set up, you can go into basically Facebook groups. There's sometimes selling groups, you get spotted in your local area and different things like that, and you can actually list your items you're selling or services you offer on that page. Tip number 7. Personalize your website and social media. Personalize it with what, you may ask? Yourself. Put a picture of you on your website. You'd be surprised how many people will come and see you because they can see that you're a real person and that you're just like them. You'd be surprised how many customers I get in my store will say, hey, we came to you because we saw you on the website and you look normal. And I was like, well, okay, if you think I look normal, good for you. But it just shows that people sometimes are a bit wary about going somewhere new if they don't know who they're going to see and who they're going to approach. So make sure you get a picture of you, your staff, your team, or whatever on your website, on Facebook or whatever. And even do something like this. Get some pictures taken of you, some videos even, and introduce your business, because video is basically the king of media. Number 8, always be open about your pricing. There's nothing worse than you go into a store and there's no prices on anything. You don't know how much it is, and then you're wary if going up to the counter and going, how much is this? Can I afford it? Well, don't do that. You want to make sure you price everything, or if you offer services, you've got a basic rundown of your costs on your counter or your website or Facebook or wherever you sell, because otherwise people are going to get a bit wary. Nothing worse than you go into somewhere and they'll say, okay, it's going to cost you so much for diagnostics, and then we'll basically bill you when it's done. You don't know how much it's going to cost. So make sure you have got the prices clear for everyone. And if you are one of these places that offers a services like we do, where people bring stuff to you to get it repaired, make sure you say, right, we charge a flat so much to look at it, or free even if you do that, and then we'll call you and tell you the price and give you the option of going ahead or not. We in our store basically charge a small diagnostics fee to cover the amount of time it takes us to look at things, and then we call the customer and say, if you want to go ahead with the repair, it's going to cost you X, Y, Z, but if you do go ahead with it, you don't have to pay the diagnostic fee, so it makes it sound cheaper. But if you decide you don't want it repairing because it's going to cost too much or whatever, then you just owe us the diagnostic fee. And in some cases, you could charge the diagnostic fee up front when they drop the machine off or whatever. Number 9, online communities. Every niche has a community. So if you're a computer repair shop, if you're a mechanic, if you're a bakery, there's lots of different online communities out there, especially on Facebook, you can join, where you can get advice from other people who are in the same situation as you. They'll tell you, oh yeah, do this, oh we charge this much for this much, or whatever, and they'll even point you in the right direction to new suppliers and different things like that. So always use these online communities. You can actually learn more from an online community than you ever would from just looking at videos on YouTube. And that's me saying that because I'm on YouTube, but I actually run my own community as well called Tech for Techs, and we've got over 650 members in the UK, and that's at this time, and all the members are able to share whatever they want, and we even interact with other vendors and distributors as well. So it gives you a rough idea. So communities can really help, and they can save you money or even make you money. Number 10, attend networking events. These are basically events usually held by sometimes local councils or cities, towns, or even individuals, where they'll basically allow so many people to come and chat. Usually it's over a coffee or whatever, and it's very informal, but you get to meet people either like-minded or in completely different industries, which can help because you might be able to help that person, they may be able to help you. And if you get to know these pillars of your community, because they're generally business people, then you never know, they may be the person you need one day who will actually save you a lot of money. And then obviously you can trade services as well, so you can offer them so much free coffee for a year if you're a coffee shop, and they may be able to offer you free plumbing services or something like that. You never know. So have a look on Google, have a look for basically local networking events in your local town. So just do a Google search for networking events in Edinburgh, and hey, you'll find your local networking events in Edinburgh. Number 11. Showcase your stuff on YouTube or Facebook via video. I know it sounds scary, and oh no, your hair's not right, and there's never a right moment. There's always an excuse why not to get in front of the camera. I hate being in front of the camera, but I'm here and I'm doing it. But you need to get on there. It's the biggest platform people look at these days. Look, you're watching this video, I'm on YouTube. So you need to make sure you're on YouTube. Show off your services, show off your cakes or clothes or whatever you're doing, what makes it different. And you'll be surprised people will come to you or even contact you regarding it. Or it'll show off your services on what you do on stuff like Facebook, or even these groups, what you want to share your stuff about, share your stuff on, what we mentioned earlier. So in conclusion, you have your 11 tips. Some of these things may work for you. Personally, I've used them all and they all work for myself. Just because it works for me doesn't mean it'll always work for you. But the thing is, with a lot of these tips, it can take months, even years for them to fully develop, especially when you're talking about websites and stuff like that. So make sure you keep at it and just don't go and do one little thing and then go, oh, everything's going to be better. It's not. Running a business takes time and will always take time. There's no shortcut, especially if you've got zero money. Just like I had when I started my own business. I absolutely had nothing. So stick at it, spend some time at it, and you will get there. Thanks for watching this video all the way to the end. Don't forget to press the subscribe button over here. That way you'll get all the latest news and all the reviews we do on a weekly basis. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.